All right, Mons, we are in the final stretches of HSPT. You're very solid. I just think of this as the warm up, before the game, before you play your game, you go and do some shooting. That's what this is. So let's talk. I've divided up math in various sections, algebra, etc. They're pretty obvious. We have talked about almost all of these problems. So let's look at this problem. Mildred weighed X minus 3 pounds. Her brother Hector weighs 8 pounds more than Mildred, while her sister, let me do the inking, and before we do, sorry to interrupt. All right, she weighs X minus 3, 8 more than Mildred, while her sister Stacy weighs 12 pounds less than Hector. Find their total weight. You know what you want to do in a problem like this? You want to just take it, make sure that you are doing a drawing. Without a drawing, it will be very hard for you to do this problem. So let's do this. So this is, we call it Mildred, M. She weighs X minus 3. Her brother, 8 more than Mildred. So this is Hector. Mr. Hector is whatever Mildred is, X minus 3 and 8 more, correct? And her sister, Stacy, she is 12 pounds less than Hector. So look at this. There is X minus 3, and there is 8, and there's minus 12, correct? And we are going to say minus 12, right? Well, so Mildred is X minus 3. Hector is X minus 3 plus 8. Minus 3 plus 8 is plus 5, X plus 5. And Stacy is Hector minus 12, which is X plus 5 minus 12. 5 minus 12 is minus 7, so X minus 7. So I have X minus 3 plus X plus 5 plus X minus 7. Let's write it down. X minus 3 plus X plus 5. This is Mr. Hector. This is Miss Mildred. And this is X minus 7 for Stacy. Let's add it up. I see 3X, right? Minus 3 plus 5 minus 7 is minus 10 plus 5 is minus 5. My answer is this. Now, what we just did is great. But you know what? When you write this down, you could just see there is a 3x's are coming. Even before you do the final calculation, you know there's an x coming from here, there's an x coming from here, there's an x coming from here. Only one of these answers has 3x. You see that? That means you didn't even have to do this 5 calculation. You could have simply jumped. And that's one of the secrets of HSPT, fast movement, right? Okay, that's good. Let's go to the next problem on algebra. This one says the length of rectangle is 4 more than twice its width. So once again, I'm going to say, I'm going to draw. I have a rectangle. I have a rectangle. And look, it says twice more than width. So I have to take W. Rectangle is 4 more than, so this is 2 W plus 4 is the length. They're asking, find the perimeter. Well, let's do fast. Length has to be 2W plus 4 plus W. 2W plus 2W is 4W, 5W, 6W. I've got a couple of 6Ws, okay? I know that for sure. Plus I have to do 4 and 4, 8. Where do I have 6W plus 8? There you go, right? So once again, take a scratch paper, sit down, do a fast drawing. Not too much time, but fast drawing, okay? Now, these are called substitution problems. They're not at all hard. All they're saying is there's a formula, D equals 16t squared. This represents distance, and this represents time in seconds. And they're saying when an object drops in t seconds, right? So they are, just be careful. This distance is in feet. This is in second, correct? Well, all they're saying, if d equals 16t squared is the formula, they're saying what is the value of d when it is, instead of t, you put 3. That's all you have to do. You're substituting. Well, PEMDAS, you have to do square first. 16 times 9. 9 times 6 is 54. Your answer ends in 4. I'm done. You could do more accurately. You can say 9 times 6, 54, carry 5. 9 times 1, 9, plus 14, 144. But notice how just doing the first two numbers here, in this case, you could get to the answer 4, which tells you this is the right answer. This is fast way of doing it. Okay, let's do one more substitution problem. Okay, here they're saying substitute r equal to s equal 5 and then simplify. Well, take a scratch paper. R plus 4, 2 plus 4, don't forget the square, is 6 square, which is 36. Next one, 9, s minus 3, 5 minus 3 square. Once again, you'll do the squaring first. 9 times 2 squared is 4, that equals 36. And finally, 2 times r square, which is 2 square, times 5. Be careful, 2 times 4 times 5, 5 times 4, 20 times equal 40. So on a scratch paper, you write it down. You say, I have 36, 36, and 40. A is less than B? No, not true. A equal B, C greater than A. Bingo, done. You see that? These things just need to be done systematically and fast. Finally, this is a class of problems. These are called inequality problems. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to do it. Let me just move this here. So both these problems are inequality problem. Way inequality works is, instead of saying, let's say I have a number line 0, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. If I say x equal 1, well, it simply means this is the value, right? But instead of saying, I can say x is greater than 1. That means anything that is greater than 1 is acceptable. So as an example, you say, Papa, I want chocolate. I say, how many chocolate do you want? You say, at least greater than 1, at least 1. Okay? In that case, I can give you 1, I can give you 2 or 3 or 3.5. So this is called an inequality, which is x greater than 1. Sometime you might see a sign which says, let's use another concept which is called x, where it need not be greater, but it could be greater than equal to 1. So greater than equal to 1. In this sense, what happens is that you will represent this as a filled circle, and you'll do everything that is greater than. In the other case, where you had only greater, no equal sign, this is represented as an open circle, right? Well, what do you think this inequality is? I'm going to just draw it here. This is all the numbers that are included from here to here. What do you think this inequality is? Well, I'm saying x is greater than, because it's a closed circle, greater than equal to minus 3, but it is less than equal to 1. So that's inequality. Okay, now let's solve these problems. So we have this, and let's erase all this. All right, now we are going to solve this problem, and they're not very hard at all, but it's something which will come to help you a lot. Okay, select the value for x that satisfies the condition minus t da 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 da. Okay, now notice, actually let's do the right one first. Solve the inequality for x. So what we are saying in this case is, we are looking for a value of x. So let's solve one side of us, which says 2.4 is less than x plus 2. right? That means if I subtract minus 2 from both sides, I get x is greater than minus 2.4 minus 2 is 4.4. X is greater than minus 4.4. Now let's go to the other side. You have to solve both sides. X plus 2 is less than equal to 3.8. That means x subtract both sides is less than equal to 1.8, right? I subtracted. So I'm looking for a number such that minus 4.4 is less than x but less than equal to 1.8. Where is that number which is more than 1.4? Okay, 2 and 3. But if I go to 2, it is more than 2, so this doesn't work. 3 doesn't work because once again, so it has to be 0, and you did it correctly. Okay, now absolute value simply means, you know this, that absolute value means absolute value of 5 is 5. Absolute value of 2.65 is 2.65. Absolute value of minus 3 is 3. Way I think of absolute value of x is like how far x is from 0. It's the distance, right? That's all we are doing. So now let's look at this problem. And let's get rid of a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. All right. So we are solving a value of x that satisfies the condition. Now, first of all, look at both sides. Minus 3 is less than equal to 2x plus 1. Let's assume x is positive. Okay? Then what we are saying is minus 3 is less than equal to 2x plus 1. Subtract both sides. Minus 4 is less than equal to 2x. Or, let's say, or x is greater than equal to minus 2. Okay? So x is greater than equal to minus 2. But we also want an x that is less than 2. Less than 2. So once again, we subtract. 2x is less than 1 because we subtracted 1, or x is less than half. So I'm looking for a number that is more than 2, less than half. Your answer is absolutely right. There you go. In this case, you actually trial and error might actually be a good approach also. Okay, so you did very well. So I just wanted to wrap this up, that when we did this problem of x and use one variable, draw a figure, write down the equations, and you notice that there is a shortcut. There is a 3x, only one answer as 3x. You don't even have to calculate. That's a fast way of doing it. In this case, they were asking a perimeter, but they were given width, and they gave length in form of the width. Express this, once again, draw the equation figure, do the calculation, right? This particular case, substitution problem, all they're saying is there's a formula. In a formula, you substitute a value. D equals 16t squared. T is 3. Instead of t, you put 3. 3 squared is 9. 9 times 16. You don't even have to calculate all of it. 9 times 6 is 4. Number ending in 4, correct? This is a slightly more thing. They are given S and R. Well, you put R and S values. You calculate for A, B, and C here. You calculate for A, B, C here, one by one, systematically, and then do it. Here is a problem where you are satisfying for inequality. We talked about the right side problem, 232. I think trial and error is a good approach in these cases. Okay, you did very well. Okay, so that's for algebra. We are going to done, and I would like you to watch this video and one more, and then you can go to sleep. Love you.